You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Meghna Deka. Welcome to the great Cong Sarkara sting job. It's a smelly and messy math which simply does not add up. We are going to get you the arithmetics behind Karnataka government's Khatakhat expenditure and how your money, the taxpayers' money, is being used to literally clean up the streets. But will it simply sweep under the carpet the graft? We let you decide. Let's break it down for you. Would you, for example, buy ACs for your home for 6 lakh rupees if you could simply buy them? Would you rent them for 6 lakh rupees if you could buy them for 1 lakh rupees? Does this add up for you in your domestic budget? Well, interestingly, that's exactly what's happening in Bengaluru. The residents of Bengaluru are erupting in disbelief after the Karnataka cabinet has approved the rental. Yes, not buying, rental. They are renting out 46 mechanical sweeping machines. You can see them on your screens. These are mechanical sweeping machines for a whopping 613.25 crore rupees. This is going to be over 7 years. Essentially, they're going to spend 613 crore rupees over the next 7 years to rent, not buy, rent these mechanical sweepers. Ironically, over the course of the show, we're going to tell you how if they had decided to buy these machines and operated in themselves, they would have only spent 92 crore rupees. But why spend 92 crore rupees to buy them when you can simply rent it in for 613 crore rupees? That's the question that we are going to ask. Why isn't the math simply adding up? But before we tell you how the stinky math fails all logic, let's tell you what a road sweeper is. You can see one behind you on your screens, and you, the viewers, can decide if it can clean up the garden city, which has simply turned into the garbage city of Bengaluru. Here's what the numbers really look like and what road sweepers are and how they operate. Well, it's got rotating brushes which sweeps the debris to the side. You have a representation of this right here. The vacuum suction system inside these cleaning machine will collect the dust and fine particles, and then it can be removed. It also comes equipped with water sprayers. The sprays will reduce dust while it is sweeping. It also comes with a storage bin which collects the dirt as it is being cleaned up, and then later it is disposed. So in concept, it's not a bad idea. Several countries in the world use it, but it is bad math. Why, you ask? Well, let's take a look at why the Sarkara is under fire for this questionable math. Well, we've broken it down for you. If it wants to rent it, which it is, there are 46 road sweepers for the next 7 years, to which the entire cost comes to a whopping 613 crore rupees, because it's 46 road sweepers for 7 years. Instead, if the Sarkara had decided to buy it, what would have happened? To buy 46 road sweepers, it would have come to a cost of about 70 lakh rupees. These are approximate costs. There are, it's available online. It says between 60 to 80. We've come to a mean figure, which is that of a 70 lakh rupees. Let's say it is for 70 lakh rupees. You multiply 46 by 70 lakhs. This comes to about 32 crore rupees is what it would cost the Siddaramaiah DKS Sarkara to buy 46 such road sweepers. To that, of course, you're going to add all the extra which would come along with it. You'd have to pay drivers, for example, 46 drivers who are going to be operating these 46 road sweepers. And to that, we are going to add about 100 helpers. Let's say you have 100 helpers for the next 7 years. What would that price come to? Roughly 60 crore rupees. So this is the price to buy these road sweepers. This is the amount that the Sarkara would have to spend to employ people to operate this. If you add the two figures, it comes roughly to 92 crore rupees. So the government, if they decided to buy it and operate it themselves, they would have spent 92 crore rupees. Instead, they decide to rent these road sweepers and spend 613 crore rupees. Does that math add up for you? But here's the key question in this entire saga. Where did the extra 521 crore rupees go? How is that math falling in place? Well, this is what the government spent, which is 613 crore rupees. This is what the government really needed to spend if they decided to buy instead of rent, which would have been 92 crore rupees. We just did the math for you. You subtract 92 from 613. Then it comes to about 521 crore rupees extra money. This is the taxpayers' money that is not now going to be available, has been taken out. And the question, of course, we are asking, where did this money, which is 521 crore rupees, go to? Disappeared, dusted off from the public exchequers. Now, even though the deal's been approved by the cabinet, nearly 30 of these sweepers, interestingly, are reportedly still lying unused in a yard. That's right. What we do know so far, the allegations from the BJP, is that there are already 26 machines which are lying in the yard. They're collecting dust and they're simply rotting away. Why wasn't this used? Well, the official reason by the Siddaramaiah Sarkara of Karnataka is that there were no money for operators. Hence, 26 road sweepers are left to rot away. They're not using the 26 they already have. Instead, what they are doing is they are renting out 46 of these machines. Let that sink in. Meanwhile, there was a prolonged discussion. Let's give you a bit of a background as to what really happened. Remember, it's not an overnight decision. There was a prolonged discussion which has been happening within the GBA, which is the Greater Bengaluru Area Municipality Corporation, since April, to buy or to rent. So what really were the processes? First, there was a technical committee which was formed, and after that there was a consulting firms, two of these consulting firms which were later engaged for evaluation. Let's tell you, in the first report which came out in August, the technical committee, and this was an in-house technical committee, they favored an outright buying of these cleaner machines, the sweeping machines. They said you should not rent it, you should in fact buy it and engage a separate agency for all the operations and the maintenance. That was the first report which came out. Advice was given by the in-house committee. After that, subsequently, the GBA, the Greater Bengaluru Authority, formed an in-house committee, and this one sought help from Rights Limited and Boston Consulting Group as well, the BCG. Now, this panel, this is the second report we are talking about, said that outright purchase would require a huge capital investment. And as every sweeping machine will also come with hook loaders, it will come with containers, it is going to cost about 3 crore rupees extra. If you decide to buy it, it's going to be very expensive. Instead, it suggested making an upfront payment of 40% to the suppliers, with the remaining cost to be paid based on performance per kilometer year on year. It in fact has pointed out that the cost of renting the machines is going to be more expensive by about 50 lakh rupees per machine. However, the cabinet took the final call on this. The cabinet chose to take the rental route because purchasing the machine involves a huge initial expenditure. That's the explanation coming in, which is why they went with the second report, which was favoring a rental. Now, the big question that remains, will these road sweepers really be enough to tackle Bengaluru's sleeping woes? Because many would say if it cleans up the garbage, then well and good. But will it, is the question. Well, these machines, 46 of them, if they are being rented out, they are brought in place and they start working, they will be able to clean about 1,700 kilometers off the road by using 46 such machines. Now, interestingly, Bengaluru has 13,000 kilometers of road. And this is all that can be cleaned with these cleaner machines. So what happens to the rest of 11,300 kilometers of road? This continues to be left unattended by these machines. So go figure where the math is coming from. Now, this decision by the Congress Sarkara has, of course, sparked off widespread criticism online as well. And there are interesting conversations which are happening around it. Let's take you through some of the memes, some of the voices coming in of the people of Bengaluru and otherwise. Now, this is the one which is doing the round. This meme of a man who's holding up a 613 crore rupee bill in his hand when he says, why buy for 20 crores when you can rent for 613 crores? Well, there are others who are saying the math is not mathing up. Get the pun? Mathing up. Another one says, why not buy and save the money of the taxpayers? Very, very legitimate question. Also, another one says, massive scam is brewing in Karnataka. That's the next one. Following which, you have another one which says, scams and Congress have become synonymous. Another netizen says, this is corruption at the highest levels. Then you have another, at this rate, the machines should be able to fly and sing. Well, will they? Well, quite unlikely. Then there's another one saying, renting machine, or are you raising children with this kind of a bill? So viewers, this holds and rather unfolds amidst a potential power tussle that we've seen in Karnataka between the number one and the number two. In fact, the Congress High Command and Rahul Gandhi was expected to meet Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumara as well as Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the national capital today. But even before that meeting could happen about a possible cabinet rejig, D.K. Shivakumara flew back to Bengaluru without meeting Rahul Gandhi. That left Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, to meet the High Command alone. So Siddaramaiah already has met Prime Minister in Delhi. So let's show you some of the reactions coming in, the war of words, while the number one and number two are at loggerheads in Karnataka and there are allegations of graft coming in. This is how Congress and BJP are vying with each other.
Karnataka sees a new scam in procuring the sweeping machines. 617 crores for 7 years is a cost for hiring a sweeping machines. Instead of that, if they could have bought the machines and maintained with the labor and everything, it could have costed them not more than 315 crores. And when this is the economics of it, why do Karnataka government is adamant or GBA is adamant in buying these sweeping machines?
I think it's an absurd allegation to make. First thing is that as far as sweeping machines are concerned, they are the way forward. And in any country in the world, actually people manually sweeping is not to be seen at all. You don't see such scenes anywhere in the world. It's only in India.
Let me go across to our panelists. Today, joining us on the show, we have Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the BJP. Syed Aslam Pasha is joining us, a political analyst. Syed Aslam Pasha, of course, backs the Congress Sarkar. But if you can explain to us, what's the math behind renting when you could have done it with simply buying it? Buying it for less than 100 crore rupees, renting it for 600 or and above crore rupees.
Well, thanks, Meghna, for having me on your show. I think you've done a lot of mathematical calculations, and I think you've cut it down, broken it, slicing and dicing. A lot of slicing and dicing is done. I think what we need to understand today in Bangalore is we are one of the biggest metropolises of our nation. Okay, we are the Silicon City, and we are the hub of information technology. What we need for the city is sophistication. And this is if you go to any other metropolitan across the world, across the globe, nothing is manual, everything is mechanical, and it has to be automated. And that's why these machines are brought in. 43 machines are brought in. We are going in the right direction. Bangalore needs cleanliness. And of course, Mr. Bhaskar Rao is my learned friend. I respect him a lot. I can see a grin on his face. I'm very happy to see him smiling. But I think as Congress government, we can bring in a smile to the people of Karnataka.
But Aslam Pasha, I agree with you. This is what the future looks like. But that wasn't my question. Yes, I have done my math right. But has the cabinet, was my question. Did they figure out this math that it's going to be more expensive to rent rather than buy? I'm not against the road cleaners. Maybe this is going to be the solution. But why not buy?
Right. Thank you so much. I think what we've done today is you spoke about 613 crores by 43. That works out to around 14.29 crores. And for 7 years, it works out to around 2 crores a year. That's how the mathematics would work. So, Meghna, one point is very simple. I can understand the BJP taking a moral high ground here. It's not about taking the moral high ground. The people of Karnataka have not, forgotten the multi-crore scam which they've done in COVID, when the entire world was going through pain and agony, right? And people were running helter-skelter. The BJP is one who did a multi-crore scam in, the PPE kits and N95 masks and all that. So
you are saying Congress Sarkara is following in BJP's footsteps. I asked you about Congress, you went on to Bhaskar Rao, your dear friend Bhaskar Rao has a big smile on his face. Let's give him the stage.
Meghna, I am amused and shocked by the brazen daylight dacoity, and you have put such elementary maths that 1,700 kilometers are only going to be cleaned with 613 crores. And the math that you put up, or a 10th standard student can put up as regards purchase, what exactly is the intention? It is nothing but robbery and plundering of funds over there and making a mockery of people's judgment over there. I agree with Aslam when he says the city needs to be clean, etc., etc. But Aslam has not spoken a single word about the mathematics and as well as the maintenance, etc. I agree. It ought to be clean, but this is nothing but criminal corruption over there. You are plundering and looting, and then you say you have no money. From where do you get? And a cabinet of learned people sit and take a decision like this means, do they have no sense, or they have just been told to shut their mouth and a decision has been taken, faith accomplished, when 26 machines are lying without any work, 46 machines need to be bought, and then again they need to be driven around, and again more corruption as regards their maintenance, running, false bills, etc., etc., needs to be shown over there. Means how do you justify this kind? This is sort of creates blood boils of the citizens of Karnataka when they have to go through such painful roads of potholes over there, and then you slap us with this kind of idiotic judgment of your financial sense by saying that 613 crores are going to be spent for cleaning there. And that too, not the whole state, only the few streets, 1,700 kilometers out of 13,000. I don't know how Aslam can even...
The math is there on the screens. We are going to put it out on the screens. And just to remind our viewers, first report which came out in August said you must buy it, do not rent it. Clearly, the cabinet did not like it. They went in for a review of it. You had a second cabinet formed which looked into it, a second expert committee which was set up, which looked into it and then said, yes, you must go ahead and rent it. And that's the one that the cabinet accepted. This Khatakhat math is simply not adding up. It has failed when it comes to logic. Both of you gentlemen, Bhaskar Rao as well as Syed Aslam Pasha, unfortunately we are out of time. The math is there on your screen, so you the viewers can decide. We need to slip into a short break. On the other side, we have a big breaking news which is coming in regarding the Delhi blast which had happened, the 10/11 blast. Another arrest has been made. All of that is coming your way in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.